Okay, folks, this is Christopher, and Pam asked me to answer some questions brought up during group, if I can remember them. She asked me a whole bunch of questions about the Honest Bible Study book that I'm finishing as we speak. Uh, but feel free to ask more questions if yours aren't answered here. Okay, so last May 25th, I started writing a book. Um, called The Reality of Spirituality. It's going to be a really big book, apparently, because I just got inspired to start writing, and I've been writing ever since, 10 to 12 hours a day. And in early April of 2026, I was just tired, exhausted of writing that book. So I was inspired to write a workbook about how to do Bible study. And the title of it that came out was Honest Bible Study. It's kind of a halfway point between reciting the church teachings that you hear um, from the pastor every Sunday, and halfway between that and university level Bible study. It's something that's usable for everybody. So please read the introduction. So if you do that now, then the rest of this will make more sense to you. So just put me on pause for a second and click at the bottom of the email and check what that introduction says because it gives you a lot of good information. Pause. Okay. Um, Now, the rest of this email is going to go real quick. Honest Bible study is not about dogma or doctrine or apologetics, um, which is explaining church teachings that by using the Bible. Uh, Honest Bible study is about looking at the Bible as literature from an academic, critical, historical perspective. It's kind of cold that way, but the writing is real warm, actually. So, from that perspective, modern biblical analytical tools get used. Um, the ultimate question is, what did the original Bible writings mean in their own place and time in history? And once you cover that, the last question is, do I believe that? Whatever I come up with on this particular topic, whenever I do Bible study on this topic, do I believe what I came up with? And if not, what is it that I do believe? What did I end up believing? So we're not telling you what to believe. We're just showing you how to go about looking at the Bible in a way that will tell you what the original people who wrote this and the original audience that it was written to, how to find out what they thought the meaning of this passage was. Because if you understand what they said, then it's possible that what we're reading nowadays in the modern translations isn't the same thing. And so if they never said it, then you can't be reading that. So even if the words seem to say that in nowadays, then you have to do some more Bible study and figure out what's really under it. What do I believe? We're not going to teach you dogmas, doctrines, or apologetics. Um, we're going to help you discover what the Bible really says. And then finally, you'll be able to answer for yourself, what do you believe? Because you'll be able to look in the Bible and figure out, oh, this is what it really says, even after all the religious teachings and everything. This is what the original Bible meant. So that's what honest Bible study is about. So the book actually provides 7 principles and a 4-step process for doing Bible study. And it's got 4 appendices that are basically a checklist of how, steps to go through to find what you want to do with your Bible study, and a quick reference to the historical events that are parallel to what the Bible books that are uh, referring to those historical events say. So it puts them right next to each other so you know which books belong in which era, what political and religious culture things were going on, and what wars were going on, what other religions might have influenced the Bible, that kind of thing. So Um, then the Honest Bible Study takes a deeper dive into how to understand the Bible, and it talks about some philosophical things. And all of this is all written in very simple terms so that anybody, even an eighth grader, could understand it. It's written so an eighth grader can understand it. So the deeper dive into how to understand the Bible doesn't get complicated, but it plainly spells out, for one thing, the key, the key for understanding the Bible. What is the one thing that you need to know that really is going to make you able to fully understand the Bible and not get confused by all these confusing and contradictory different statements that pop up sometimes and it just don't know what's going on. So finally, after all of that, you learned that all of that in 4 weeks. It's 15 minutes a day that you spend going through the lessons. It's, like I said, easy to read lessons. Three simple questions at the end. Just go through them, and you should be done in 20 minutes maximum. And if you do that every day, then you come to the weekly meeting and you're ready to discuss whatever we're going to discuss at that meeting, those particular things. And you can bring your questions and we'll answer any additional questions. And pretty much, you get to decide, okay, I've read this, I've studied this. What is it that I believe? And it's not about us pushing our ideas on you. It's about you finding what the Bible's really saying, and this is how you do it. That's what I'm trying to teach is how do you study the Bible to be effective. Um, so finally, after all that, there's 16 lessons on topics. And we've mentioned all these topics in our meetings. I tried to remember a bunch of them and I wrote them all down. And I did honest Bible study on these topics. And so all the essays and lessons conclude with three questions. And those questions are first one is, in one sentence, describe the main point of this essay. And the second one is, then um, we provide you with a Bible passage and the instruction. Okay, so what do you think this passage means in regard to the main point of this lesson? So the first one is, what is the main point of the lesson? What does the Bible say about that? And then third question is, do you believe the essays version about this Bible study topic? And what do you believe? So that's what it's all about. So you're encouraged to write that down before you discuss the topic with anybody else. And so that, we have a tendency to change our mind or to soften our position whenever we're confronted with other people's beliefs. But writing it down makes it easier to stand your ground. So all of that is in Honest Bible Study, the book, and we're just discussing this because this may be a possible resource, and I don't want to push it on you simply because I'm one of your local group members. I just wanted to make that available to you, and if it's good for you, then maybe we can use that. Now, whenever I was describing all of this, Pam brought up the fact that there is a great book out there by Andy Stanley, the son of the TV evangelist by the name of Stanley. I forget his first name, but it's called Irresistible. And look that up. I sent you a link on the email and check that out. So, okay. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great evening. Bye bye.